Hey, what's up? Hope you're doing great. First off, the update is mostly a polish and fix release, the kind of patch that doesn't add a new area or weapon, but quietly sorts out the things that can ruin a run. Progression blockers, those small but infuriating bugs that prevent the story from moving forward, and a couple of audio and controller tweaks that improve feel. The headline here is a pair of quest-related fixes that were creating real headaches for players. One involving the Sanctuary's second Muse chamber, where a door interaction would sometimes fail to appear, and another that fixed the soft lock in the Laconian Woods if a player got defeated during the Sacred Olive Tree encounter. Those sorts of problems can leave someone stuck with no save workaround, so having them resolved is a big relief for anyone who hit those exact spots. From a gameplay feel perspective, the patch adjusts haptic feedback on the DualSense for select actions. That's the kind of subtle change some players won't explicitly notice at first, but over a few fights, it can make combat feel more responsive. Little vibrations where they should be, trimmed where they shouldn't. It's not a rework of combat, but it's an acknowledgement from the developers that tactile response matters for immersion, especially in a title that leans into measured strikes and timing. Audio got a small but important fix too. Music that was supposed to play during certain gallery cinematics could sometimes go missing, which undercut the impact of those scenes. The patch restores that music so cutscenes hit with the weight and atmosphere the designers intended. Again, this isn't flashy on a patch notes list, but when a cutscene lands with music, it elevates the whole moment, and conversely, when it's absent, it can feel hollow. Beyond those named fixes, the update includes general stability and performance improvements. Most of the time, that means crash reductions, fewer stutters, and smaller fixes across the board that don't always make it into a short changelog, but make for a smoother play session. If you were experiencing random freezes or odd visual hitches, there's a decent chance those were addressed in this sweep. The studio did post a patch alert on their social channels, so players would know to download the update before playing. It's worth giving a little context. This release arrived as part of the game's initial post-launch support, and it follows the general model of fixing the top priority issues first: progression, blockers, anything that stops players from continuing, then moving on to quality of life and polish. That approach makes sense for a title that's new to players and likely seeing a lot of varied playstyles and save states. Developers tend to triage the things that prevent anyone from finishing or that corrupt saves, and then address the more subjective feel stuff. You'll see that reflected in the order of fixes here. If you're someone who keeps a close eye on patch notes, you'll recognize this as a textbook stability update. Targeted fixes, controller adjustments, and an audio correction. If you're streaming or recording, the audio fix is particularly relevant because missing music in a cinematic is awkward in a video and can change how viewers perceive a scene. For speedrunners or completionists, the progression fixes are the headline. No one wants their run invalidated by an invisible door or a hard soft lock that forces a reload. The nice part is that the studio is addressing these things promptly and broadcasting the change, which reduces confusion in the community. A couple of practical notes as you boot the game after updating. Make sure the patch has fully installed before hitting a chapter or checkpoint where you previously experienced trouble, because sometimes the fix won't take effect until the new version is active. If you're troubleshooting an issue you ran into before the patch, try loading a save from before the bug occurred and see if progression resumes. If it's still problematic, keep an eye on official channels for any follow-ups from the developers that might address edge cases. The studio's announcement was brief but confirmed the main points, and the PlayStation blog and store pages provide the broader release details if you want background on the title itself. Overall, this is the kind of update that doesn't revolutionize the game but removes friction. For players who were stuck or who noticed missing music or odd haptics, it will feel like someone fixed a frayed cable you didn't know was causing static. For those who haven't encountered these problems, it's still worthwhile because it contributes to long-term stability and a cleaner experience for everyone. With the live, it's a better moment to jump back in, especially if you paused because of a progression snag or a jarring cutscene. That's the scoop on this patch. Targeted fixes for progression, a handful of controller and audio tweaks, and general stability improvements. If you noticed weird behavior around the Sanctuary's Muse chamber or the Sacred Olive Tree, those should be resolved now, and the small haptic and audio changes will make a difference over time.